Oh. Shit.
The footage that you've just seen is the alleged drone that is being touted as, or potential UAP, that was approached over RAF Lakenheath a couple of days ago by an F15 fighter jet. And you could see there, this thing with the red dot just completely skedaddles out of there. And there has been a lot of fallout off the back of this. This has been one of the biggest kind of UAP incidents to happen in the UK in recent history. Obviously, there's quite a lot of stuff that goes on in the UK, but this is pretty big, especially with it being over restricted airspace, and especially when you take into consideration the Manchester airport incident that happened on the exact same day. Now, I want to, if you haven't got all the context for that, go and check out yesterday's video that I made, as it gives all the context to what happened on the build up to that. But we're going to take a look at some more of the fallout that happened from the RAF Lakenheath situation. And, you know, it's pretty crazy. So this video comes from someone who allegedly lives near RAF Lakenheath. It looks like it could be some kind of military housing. I don't know for certain, don't quote me on it. But this person lives near the base, and they are having some weird technical malfunctions. Now, this could just be scripted, could be fake, could be anything, but, you know, it's very weird.
Right, I'm not touching it. It's going fucking mental. Right, it stops now. It was doing that for ages.
Of course, it doesn't actually mean that it's off the back of, an alleged UAP that's flown over Lakenheath. This could be anything, down to technical glitches, it could be trips in the wiring. There's a lot of stuff that this could possibly be, but it's just very interesting that this person apparently lives near RAF Lakenheath, and they're experiencing some electronic issues. No reports of, any other electronics being issued or like having any issues with that, but, it's there. I'm going to check it out. Anyway, the next thing that we're going to take a look at is, of course, the clip that I showed you at the very beginning, which is an apparent F15 fighter jet approaching the quote-unquote drone over RAF Lakenheath at the time of it being reported. Of course, there's a lot of suspicion going on around the topic because, people were recording it. One person was live streaming it. Their live stream got shut down, and then you couldn't find the page anymore. You were met by the YouTube monkey that just said, oops, looks like something went wrong. And then military personnel came out of the Air Force Base to shuffle people along, to move them along, told them, off you go, see you later. And then people recorded this, which is an F-15 fighter jet approaching the craft. Of course, as we can see right now, the craft is stationary. This is the jet approaching. And then...
Oh. Shit.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Now, I can't confirm whether that was absolutely what the person in the video is claiming for it to be, but it's coming from a page on Twitter called Think Tank. Now, this is a very reputable source, so I don't think they would post something if it wasn't what they what it was. Now they're claiming that a UAP leaves the scene as an F-15 approaches, so I'm going to take their word for it on this one, but of course, if you've got any other ideas, let me know down in the comments below. But this has sparked wide debate, especially with, drones now being sighted over nuclear bases in the UK and the US. And News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthart, who is, he's got his finger on the pulse when it comes to all things UAP, UFO, alien, all the rest of it. And he sat down and spoke to News Nation regarding this topic, and this is what he had to say.
Questions and answers into mysterious drones spotted over U.S. military bases in England over the past several days. The U Air Force says the drones have not impacted the bases or their residents, but it hasn't ruled out if they were sent by agitators. Let's get right to our News Nation special correspondent, Ross Coulthart. Ross, anytime we hear about something flying in a restricted space, it causes concern. Several drones spotted over 3 different military bases over several days. You posted on social media about those sightings. What can you tell us about what you've learned?
Well, Nick, the interesting thing about this whole saga is how little the Air Force has been able to tell us about what they're seeing, because there have been at least 5 nights, possibly 6 nights, of unexplained incursions by what the Air Force describes as drones.
Now, of course, interestingly, last night at the time of me recording, so this Lakenheath incident happened 2 nights ago. Last night there was an incident over RAF Bryce Norton, which is another RAF base over here in the UK, which did experience yet again this drone activity. Whether it's a drone or whether it's a UAP, we don't actually know for certain. The MOD are kind of reluctant, of course, to comment on it, which is unsurprising, but this is what Ross Coulthart learned.
Over 3 of the most sensitive US bases, or British bases where the US Air Force is based in the United Kingdom. That's Mildenhall, Lakenheath and Feltwell. And what distinguishes all of those bases is that it's very likely all of them have nuclear weapons. So this is a very grave situation. Unexplained incursions by unexplained drones, multiple drones, dozens in some cases, and there has not been any attempt, as far as I can see, to successfully bring down one of these objects so that we can be told what they are and where they come from. And when the Pentagon was asked about this, Major General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon's press spokesman, he basically said that all he could tell us is that they are being actively monitored. He couldn't answer a question as to whether they were from a foreign adversary, and he couldn't answer the question as to whether or not they were of hostile intent.
Ross, now the U.S. Air Force did confirm that the sightings were unmanned aerial systems or drones. Do you believe that they are drones?
We've got to be skeptical about this because we've seen no evidence of this to date, Nick. And as you would know on our show Reality Check, for some time we've been reporting on similar sightings of so-called drones over places like Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, the Plant 42 at Palmdale in California, and also the Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey. That happened in, I think, 18th of November, just before these latest incidents. Now we've got these incidents over the 3 Air Force bases in the United Kingdom. And in none of these cases have any of these devices, these alleged drones, been recovered. So I think we're entitled to be skeptical, and the public's allowed to ask questions. Why can't the Pentagon answer a very basic question? Why do they say these are drones, and where are they coming from? And can we be assured that they are not a threat?
And speaking on the not a threat, so far, Ross, help me here, none of them have appeared to be hostile, but that still doesn't necessarily give everyone great comfort.
Well, we deployed, if you remember, Nick, in February last year, we deployed F-22 fighters to shoot down what we were told were balloons flying over the continental USA. It's a very interesting situation that we know that fighter jets have been scrambled from some of these bases in the United Kingdom. They've been flying without transponders, so we haven't been able to track them to see where they're going and where they're maneuvering. But there has been an air tanker refueling them, and they've been operating on afterburners. So it's quite clear that the military is taking this extremely seriously, and the British government has also brought in military assistance of its own to help the US Air Force deal with finding out any more that we can about these objects. At the moment, I think all we can legitimately say is they're objects and they're unexplained.
And Ross, this isn't the first time, because I do want to touch on this before I let you go. We had drones flying over Langley back in 2023, and we never determined exactly what was happening. Do you believe that these drones could be from foreign adversaries?
They could potentially be from foreign adversaries, but as you would know, we were the first to report on News Nation those Langley drones, so-called, and we have queried and questioned the reasons why they use drone terminology. I think at best what they are unexplained aerial vehicles of some kind. That's the best we can put it. And I think the public are entitled to expect an explanation.
And I know that, Ross, you'll keep pushing for an explanation as well.
So there's obviously Ross Coulthart's 10 pence worth. It's very interesting to hear all of the different things that are going on, of course, you know, and to see the responses that are taking place to these alleged drones. Now, you know, if they knew what this was, there wouldn't be such a response to these things. But there is. So it leads to speculation. And again, the distinct lack of answers that we are getting leads to more speculation about what this could be. And the blanket term of drones isn't cutting it for some people. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump to get the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.